Hi everybody, welcome to Summer Solstice Party. I'm so excited to see everyone. I'm here on my way to see my mom. I've been traveling for 24 hours, so I just had a big trip, ran into a little weather, been up since 2 a.m., but I gotta tell you, I'm just super excited to be here today. I'm in Colorado where I grew up. And it's very exciting to have the solstice party. Oh, my hair's falling down. To have the solstice party where it all began. I mean, this is the place where I learned to really trust my vibes. This is where I grew up and had the best teachers. This is where I had so many exciting experiences. So it makes sense to me that in working today on our topic that we're going to be in a place where it all started. So I'm feeling that energy and how exciting it is. I just want to say hi to everybody. And frankly, I think it's really amazing that we can have this connection because I really feel your energy. Like I want to say good morning to Caroline and anybody else. Tell me where you're from. I love these connections, especially since I live in Europe. It's just wonderful to feel like I can connect. Now, some of the things are going on sideways, but oh, there it goes. There's Shanice from, hi Shanice and Erin and Clara from Dublin. Don't you think it's just amazing that we're able to connect, and part of being intuitive and actually part of just opening our energy all the way around is feeling this real, genuine connection that we share with one another. So there's Audrey from Maryland and Jacqueline from London. I mean, this makes me excited. And then there's Song from Hong Kong. I mean, this makes me happy, really happy. And then there's Monica from Sweden and Francoise from Paris. Just take a moment and feel the connection that we all have energetically. You know, we share a good vibe. There's Tracy. Hi, Tracy. And Fred. I haven't seen Fred in a while, so this is like the most incredible invention ever. You know, I just feel like being able to connect with each other like that is so important for us for this reason. For one, I have read, and maybe you've heard, but one of the biggest problems that we all have right now because of the way the world is going so fast is this feeling of loneliness or being disconnected, of maybe like not belonging or somehow I'm faking it at the party. And I just really feel like what we're going to work on today and what I want to really address today is that we all belong. We are all connected. I mean, just look at these people from Utah and Florida and Sweden and Nova Scotia and Japan. And it's incredible that for the good, the bad, or the indifferent, we are certainly able to have this beautiful soul connection no matter where we are, especially if it's our intention. You know, when I grew up here, being intuitive and kind of living in that different energy wasn't something that was really common outside of my home. You know, within my family, being intuitive and feeling capable and feeling connected was really central. And that's something my mom taught me. Because when I grew up, I just don't know, a lot of you know this, but my mother, when I grew up, was deaf. She had gone through a lot of injury when she was a child during the war, and so she wasn't born deaf, but she was deaf about the age of 10. So our first language was energy. Our first language growing up in my family was listening to energy, listening to vibes, and being connected. And so it sort of set my awareness on a different frequency, and that's what this is doing. I mean, we're connected on this new frequency, and I just want everybody to just enjoy and feel how marvelous that is, just how incredibly marvelous that is to be able to tune in and know you belong, know you're part of something. So I want to say hi to Noella and Yvonne and Carolina. So many of you, I just love you so much. Hey Hale and Kathy, it's like, I've said this before, you know, when I grew up, there was this great TV show for kids, Miss Jeannie, and she had the magic mirror, and she was saying hello to everybody, and you know, I see Billy, and so this is kind of a reinvention of that. I mean, geez, we have Dee from South Africa and San Rafael, California, and it's just so exciting. So one of the things I want to talk to you about before we even get into the party is, I was thinking about this on my way here, seeing my mom, and thought how that corresponded and how perfect it was. One of the things that I was taught by my mom, both by her saying it, but also just by the way she engaged me and her kids, was she gave me a sense of believing in myself, you know, to just believe in myself. And not my mental self, not my personality self, but my spirit self. And that is probably, you know, a lot of people say you're so lucky and you grew up in this family. And my mom was as crazy and my family was as dysfunctional as any. But this one thing is that I got was believe in yourself. I mean, I got a lot of things, and the idea that there's always support. There's always available support. So I want to just start the day by just recognizing how we as a tribe, as a group, provide energetic available support. And I've written about this, that it may be a new idea to maybe open up to that concept that, you know, maybe I'm operating from this notion that I'm alone, or I'm disconnected, or I've got to prove something by myself, or there's so many things that way that we've been taught to think that way. But what if nothing else, the one big change before we really dive into the day, what if we just decide I'm not by myself? That was a crazy notion. There's Chris. Hi, Chris. And I saw there's Rocco and Maria. Hi, Maria. I love seeing you. And so many. And, you know, Shanice is talking about my book, Diary of a Psychic. That's the book I wrote about growing up in this sense of no matter how crazy it is, there's support and I'm connected. So if we could just all think, what if I changed my mind about my perceptions? What if my mind said, you know, it appears I'm alone, or it appears that I'm by myself, but actually I'm connected two ways, horizontally and vertically. I'm connected to all these people who are tuning in at this moment of the same energy, of the same heart, the same available interest, the same frequency. I even see so many people that I've known over a lot of years, like, good morning, Larry. It's like so great to see so many people that have touched my life and have served as my teachers, and I just feel so connected. Like, and if you think about it, we are connected. It's an illusion to feel like I'm all by myself. However, we have to actively behave differently and then let ourselves be connected and engage. And I feel like this is just the time in our lives, especially when it feels like things are so unstable in the world and we get a lot of energy coming back at us that is, you know, maybe giving us a reason to feel afraid. We don't have to. What we have to do is change the channel. That's one of the things I want to talk to you today about. It's not, you don't have to change your core self. You have to change the channel to get back to your core self. And you know, the summer solstice, it's like sun is out and the energy is up and everything is blooming, and this is the time to play and be in our fire energy and be in our playful self and be in our enthusiasm and our spontaneity, be in our natural energy, our natural frequency. Just think about what life would be like if we got that connection. And one of the things I've noticed in teaching and traveling, and I've been traveling a lot, which has been a great blessing because I've seen people from all over the world, is that we're all kind of looking for something. And, we believe it's outside of ourselves. We believe it might be physical. Maybe it's a romantic connection. Maybe it's a job we love. Maybe it's a community. I mean, we do want and enjoy those things, but the connection that I really feel we're looking for, the void we're feeling, is the connection with our own heart, our own essence. That's the connection that we really need to that's what we're seeking. And that connection to our inner self, oh my God, it like plugs us into a different circuitry. I still want to just say hi to everybody. Marjorie, good morning, Marjorie, and Raquel and Pamela from I'm not sure where you are, Pamela, but good morning. And let's just take a minute and feel the connection that's available to us if we would open ourselves up. Hi, Katie. I'm glad you tuned in. And Karina, hi. I'm so glad you tuned in. And I just want us all to take a moment to feel this summer solstice energy, this vibrant aliveness that is available to us. And it's the season of our inner child. One of the things I have in my home, and I would show you if I were there, but I have on other Facebook Lives, is I have a couple of altars in my house. I have like 5 altars in my house because they're portals to higher energy. But I have 2 that are specifically for my inner child. And they don't just sit there like art installations. They are engaged, and I bring in like toys and stuffed animals and Gumbies and angel wings and things that make me laugh. And I see them every day. And one of the things I do in front of my inner child altar is I turn on the music and I dance, because I know when I was a kid, I couldn't sit still. I was always rocking and rolling. I remember so many times in school the teachers would say, settle down, quit moving. But my whole body, it's like fire. I was always, kind of feeling the rhythms of life and rocking and rolling. And I know that is one of the ways in which we can free ourselves from our intellects, free ourselves from being stuck in our head, and get back into the flow. So just, while you're even listening with me today and joining in and asking questions, is let yourself feel the rhythm. The summer is fire. There's seasons of the year, and the summer season is energy and fire dances. So that's one of the things that I just want to kind of warm you up and just say, sending you love for your fur baby. That's funny. I have a lot of fur babies. I have chickens, and I have a lot of birds, and I have squirrels, and just, it's important to keep that inner child part of you engaged. I remember, I have to tell you this story before we start the party. Years ago, and I lived in Chicago, I had an entire wall that was my altar in my office where I would do readings for people. And on that wall were books and spiritual talismans, but more than anything, I had toys, a lot of toys. And so one day this gentleman came for a reading. He was a truck driver, and he owned a truck driving company, and he was very nervous, and it was super out of character for him to come see someone the likes of me. And he was super guarded and kind of gruff, and he sat down in my office when I was doing readings in person, and he looked over at my toys and he said, "This looks like a playground." And I said, "Well, it kind of is." And he goes, "What? There's all those toys over there. is this a serious experience? I said, yeah, it's serious. And so are the toys. And he said, well, okay. I said, which one would you like to play with while we're talking? And he sat there for a minute. And he said, I want to play with the slinky. And so I go, you got it. Got him the slinky. And the whole time he's playing with the slinky. And he became one of my most constant clients and time dear friends, and thanked me many, many times for waking up his inner child, because his life was much too heavy, much too serious, much too drained to feel anything but burden. And that is what I want to talk to you about and get ready to do today as we go into our summer solstice party. Just think for a moment, if your life feels burdened, if it's gotten too heavy, if it's gotten too serious, if it's gotten too responsible, for more than just yourself. And what does that energy feel like? Is it, is there any fire in your energy? Is there any dance? Is there any humor? So as we warm up before we start the summer solstice party. Oh, Kristen says, I have a Minnie Mouse stuffy I love to sleep with. Yay, Kristen. I definitely support that. Mine is a chicken. I have a big chicken, a medium chicken, and a little chicken who I call poulet, which is the baby chicken word. And so what I want you to say, ask yourself, is there any energy in any dance, any spirit, any movement? Can I consider creating that? Can I consider bringing that in? Has my life energy gotten too dense, too heavy, too concrete? And that's definitely what happens when you get into the head. Another thing I want to do to kind of warm you up is to pay attention to your energy, because our true self is the spirit in us. And the spirit in us is fire. It's the fire energy. And our head, or our ego energy, contracts. And there is no movement. It gets dense, and it kind of contains us and locks us in. And I just want you to notice that, because you can tell what channel you're on. So you don't have to change your whole life and move mountains. You just have to change the frequency. And it really is an experience. It's not just thinking. In fact, one of the things I run into a lot is people saying, I don't know where my passion is. I can't figure it out. And my answer is, you never will, because we can't rationalize ourselves into passion. We have to lean in and experience it by experimenting, by trying new things, by letting us be beginners. So one of the things about summer, you think about summer solstice, you think about play. You think about your inner kid. You think about, I don't have to perform. I don't have to do anything. I don't have to appeal to anybody's approval. I don't have to gain someone's acceptance. In the summer, we're free. We run around. I remember when I grew up running around, I had a bicycle, and I tore through the neighborhoods and zipped through the yards and up and down the streets and around the park, and constantly was in this energy of exploration. So that's another thing, we want to get the idea of fire in your inner child, and exploration and playfulness, and we don't have to be serious. This is not the time to be heavy or to there are times in the year and in the energy field where we have to maybe concentrate a little more, focus, but this is not the time. This is a time to connect with everyone else, to connect with the energy, to connect with the spirit of the world, to belong, to feel like you belong, to let yourself belong, to not self-select out. That's the other thing that you can tell when you're in the spirit. When you're in the spirit, you step in, you connect, you want to participate, you want to be connected, you want to belong, and not just what the group can give you, but what I can give the group. When you're in your ego, you self-select out. When you're in your ego, your ego steps away, and it's sort of like me against them. And we otherize people. We actually almost make people things. So when we step out, and we know when you're feeling, I don't belong, I'm not part of this, that definitely is the frequency that's gonna kind of drain your life. It's never gonna be good. It's never gonna be good. You just gotta get a couple of things in your mind. I'm getting ready for starting our summer solstice party. So let's just, first of all, I want to say hello to everybody. I am beyond gorgeously excited that you're here. I feel the energy. Can you feel? There is literally a vibration of connection between us that is going completely around the world. Is that just amazing? That is incredible. Look what we've created already. It's like whoosh of fire energy going all around the world that you are contributing to, that you are part of. And that is so important to recognize and give yourself a moment to experience what it feels like to be part of something and not believe that I have to go it alone. So what we're going to do is we're going to get ready. Now, first thing I want you to do is breathe in and exhale like you're blowing out birthday candles on a cake. And empty yourself of all the things that you're holding on to, and feel that energy around your heart and feel where it's defended. And just while we're together for the next little while, let that down. Just set it down. So let's breathe in again. Just set that down. And just let yourself empty. Then breathe up through the ground, through the feet. When you do, you breathe into the lower lungs. Just breathe in. And then open the throat. And let your energy expand from your heart center to the space above and below, front and back, side to side. Just giving you this room to breathe. Just this energy. Just see it like a beautiful aura of sunlight all around you. Just And this is your spirit. This is your light. And wherever else your mind has been, it's just where your attention's been. It's not who you are. Who you are is this beautiful dancing light. Okay, so I got this here, my little solstice, so let me pull it up. We got some fun things to do. Okay, now it's perfect that we're doing this here because this is where we're going to start with. This whole point of this solstice party is to connect you with the fire in you, the fire dancer, the intuitive, the conscious, the person who's in the flow, who's guided from within. So let's just talk about a little bit of the things. Now, let's do a little reflection because we're going to wake up your intuition today. We're going to wake up your spirit. So my first question, I want you to get out a piece of paper or the download if you got the download of the solstice thing. And I also want you to even answer out loud with me because I got to tell you, the most powerful vibration in your life is the sound of your own heart voice. It is the most powerful. So, the first question is when it comes to trusting your vibes, it kind of begins, or at least the precedent begins at home. So, what did your family teach you about that, if anything? Did you have anybody in your family who was positive about it? And I came so glad now, really glad. So answer these questions. And Sylvie, just really, in your family, was there anybody who reflected or modeled trusting your vibes? Now, I remember one woman said to me, we never even acknowledged such a thing. And that's pretty common. A few people, maybe more than a few, said, well, in my family it was really considered bad, discouraged. That's a bad thing, which is crazy because it's your own heart talking. It's your own experience. So don't worry. It's like if nobody told you the light is on. There's the light switch, because we're turning the light switch off. And Donna says, no one in my family. But it doesn't mean the light switch isn't there. The light switch of your heart isn't there. Just nobody knew. Nobody knew. And Bettina, I can believe we do feel alone when that light switch is off. But if there was someone, maybe not in your family, was there anybody? Now, Pat says her aunt. For me, it was my mom. My dad didn't trust his vibes. My dad kind of had to go with the program because he was outnumbered. There were 7 kids and my mom against him, but he fought it. He fought it. And if you can't remember, then you have to realize that maybe I'm just not trusting my vibes because nobody knew to tell me to. It's like if there's this beautiful treasure in the closet and nobody told you it's there, then we all walk around like we're poor or in the dark. It's like if we're in the jungle and nobody says, you have a flashlight you can turn on. Nobody knows. But if you know someone who did, that's great. And if you don't, it's okay. That's not a handicap. It's just that they didn't know the light was there, but it works. We don't have to rewire you. We just have to turn it on. Erica says, yay, I'm glad. So, and it's true. A lot of us, when we were empowered, because one of the things about your vibes is you're empowered. And okay, your great-grandmother was a shaman of her tribe. That's an amazing thing. Now, Sarah was raised in terror and fear, and you know what? It's so unfortunate, but we don't want to let that stop us today. Those were just uninformed people. They were not the truth. And Bettina, you're right, your horse, and my sister, and Mimi says, Buna, grandma. It's like we need to realize no matter what the example, we kind of took our clue from that, but maybe if we were given a bad example, we unplugged ourselves. So we have to realize that, you know what, I'm hardwired. Frankly, science is on my side now. I was just with Greg Braden in Chicago last weekend, and we were talking, and he says the heart is 5,000 times more powerful and more available than the brain. So a lot of us haven't been taught correctly or modeled correctly, and so we just blindly follow the examples, and it's time to stop that. It's time. So let us please to make a new decision. Like what we're trusting is not some strange entities, although I will talk about guides in a minute. We're trusting ourselves. We're trusting our spirit that knows. Birds have radar, whales have sonar, bats have night vision, monarch butterflies can travel from one side of the world. And if we were told not to trust ourselves, people were just trying to take our power away. There's nothing bad, there's nothing, evil about trusting yourself. God made us. God made us and gave us this knowing heart. We are created in this divine spirit. So the first decision is to reconnect. And I see so many of you saying, what your vibes were, but it is safety first. My mom saved her life with her vibes during World War II. So let's just make the decision before we go on to the next conversation. Let's just make the decision that trusting my vibes means trusting my true self, means trusting my authentic self. It's my way into living as who I really am. And that who I really am is beautiful and powerful. Giselle, do you have a book about it? I have, frankly, all of them, but start with Diary of a Psychic and the Psychic Pathway. This is where you get or trust your vibes. I love, Pamela, you're saying I was the weird one, but you know what? What weird means? It means out of this world. It means more than the physical self. Joel, it's right. In A Course in Miracles, I am free. I am still as God created me. I have this knowing spirit. And so if we're going to trust our vibes, we have to unplug from those poor examples. And they have a lot of emotional baggage with them. So let's just say that was just misinformation. I was reading a friend of mine's book, and he was writing in this book about, he was working with this beautiful chef, and he said, you know, if somebody gives you a bad recipe and you keep putting the bad recipe together, something's not right in it, you're going to keep getting a bad result. We got to get the recipe right. And our recipe is my spirit, my heart space is knowing. I want to say hi to Carl, big kiss to Wendy, big kiss to the baby, Bridget. You know, really, really let your spirit, you got to make that decision. Changing the formula. I'm going back to my own energy. And Danielle, I'm a bit of a gypsy too, so, you know, free spirit. Now, let's go to some practical things. You know, let's go to the next question. The next piece of the party here. So think about this. We receive our vibes through other senses. You know, this energy comes in and gets our attention. So it's not one size fits all. And that's something that we need to do. It's like we just need to get the recipe, like Cindy, you know, getting the recipe right is just my spirit knows. My heart spirit knows. Morning, Tricia. My heart spirit knows. And now I need to start recognizing, how does my heart spirit talk to me? Now, for some of us, we get a feeling. You know, we can't quite explain it, but it might be a gut feeling. It might be, often it could be in the throat or in the heart space. If it's a little bit threatening or like we're being warned, maybe we get the hair in the back of our neck turns up. Maybe it's like an inner voice. It's never going to be like my clear, loud voice, but it is a constant kind of inner nudge, an inner voice. It's important to recognize when your spirit is talking to you and how. So write down what kind of frequency, how does my spirit get my attention? Catherine says, my gut feelings are strong. I'm glad you can't neglect them. And I want, just answer some of the questions with me. Do you get the gut feeling? Do you get it in your heart? Is it sort of a general feeling? It's important to put this to words. It's important to write it down. And Lillian says, sometimes I get something like touching my head. And you told me I had a lot of times as a servant. I now am learning to really love myself. Yay. Hello, yay. Cindy, it's a knowing, and that's different than thinking. So this is so important. Elsma, how do you get your vibes? Gretchen on the top of your head. Tracy, gut, inner voice. The more you start to recognize and acknowledge it, the easier it is to not ignore it later. Once you say, my gut talks to me, or my heart talks to me, or I get this buzzing feeling, then you're not going to ignore it anymore. And Erin gets the deep calm when the answer is correct, and Lotus inner voice, and you know what? Do the song lyrics and melodies perfect. You know, it's a body feeling like a gut, and it is energy. See, that's the thing I want you to notice. It's energy, and it's always telling you something. Always. So when you feel this particular energy, you need to stop and you need to say out loud, I'm getting a message from my spirit, or I'm getting a message from my inner voice. My spirit, my inner voice, my divine self. It's not some weirdo thing. My inner knowing. I'm picking something up. I'm getting a feeling. And then you can kind of start playing around with it. I wonder, that's a good question. I wonder what this feeling's about. But you have to first get clear that it's coming in. You got to get, okay, this is different from thinking. This is different from fear. This is different from other people's opinions. This is physical. Something deep within me is happening. And it's okay if you're confused initially. That's not what we're going to learn. But we have to recognize the frequency in order to start strengthening it. So everybody, just take a moment and write down, even if you can say a general buzz, any awareness. Let's see. An impression enters my mind. Good, Nancy. My voice turns into Kermit the Frog. That's funny, but good. Regina, how do you get rid of negativity that is blocking you? We'll talk about that. I get feelings, but let's not get ahead of ourselves. Let's just, when I get a vibe, where in my vibe? Anne says my skin feels it. See, what I love is if we look at everybody saying something, which tells you this is natural. It's natural. Nobody's saying, I don't get anything. We're saying, I question it, I doubt it, I don't trust it, but we don't say nada because we get something. We have to make decisions about it. But so everybody, on this particular question, where in your body do you get it? So we're going to take it step by step, just kind of ease into it, roll into it. So first I know it, that's that inner kind of awareness, and then I feel it. So now, here's something else. Our intuition begins and starts getting our attention in the areas that we really care about. So if you're in business, you're going to get intuition with it when you're working with your clients or your customers or sales. If you're a parent, you might get your intuition around your kids. If you're traveling, it might be intuition around your security, your safety, your surroundings. So in what areas are you kind of inclined more than others? In what areas are you inclined to be more intuitive? Like for me, when I first was little, I was very aware of energies, very aware of other people's energies all the time. I was scanning, and I just came in wide awake. Many of you may have also been so overwhelmed with everyone's energies because our dial was up on high. I know I've trained myself to be aware, but initially I just was very aware of other people's feelings. I was aware of maybe spirit guides. I was very aware of the energy. I wanted to protect my mom, so I had a lot of awareness around her. I wanted to be intuitive. I wanted to kind of differentiate myself from my brothers and sisters. So I was like, I want to get really good at that. Now, Giselda, I know about struggling crowds. Me too. We can get overwhelmed, but I want you to write down, where am I kind of already pretty intuitive? Just tell me here and I'll read some, and yeah, crowds can drain us, and I talk about that in some of my books, like Trust Your Vibes, and especially in Psychic Pathway, how to shut that down. And where do you, and here's another question, where do you want to be intuitive? Where would it really help you to be a little more intuitive? Like Carl, you said around kids, because you feel their open heart energy, and sometimes it's like I'm feeling too much at once, or family, but let's notice, where am I already amped up and my awareness gets higher, and then where do I want to be intuitive? Because intuition follows natural interest. If you want to be more intuitive at work, you're going to be more intuitive at work. If you want to be more intuitive in your relationships, it's going to come there. If you want to be more intuitive, now Yvonne says you're randomly intuitive, but that can change with attention. That can change with our working together, with my family. But I want you to notice, hey, it is happening. It may not be consistent, but it's happening. This is natural, and I can get better at it, and I can get more consistent at it with a little attention, a little support. But I am already there. And Roxanne, around finances, and Jeanette, I want to pick up people's feelings. And you don't want to pick up people's feelings at work. You want to be able to discern. So in what areas of your life do you have the most difficulty being accurate with work, with friends? Where is it hard? Where do you get overwhelmed? Where does your own emotional insecurities and fears or willfulness get in the way? So I'm looking at some of this now, and we're talking about some of this. I sometimes get overwhelmed in crowds, and I'm not, sometimes I'm not really good. I am not as intuitive maybe when it comes to, let me think. I'm pretty intuitive. It's kind of second nature, but I can misjudge people sometimes. If I meet someone and I want to like them, it'll catch up with me pretty quickly, but I can tend to be, because I'm so optimistic, give people, great positive believing before I really assess. But where, like with men in relationships, that can be a blind spot. With family, that can be a blind spot. And Laura, in the mom department, that can be a blind spot. My mom, who I adore and I'm on the way to see, is definitely a challenge for me at times, big time, and can really get me amped up. So we all have our vulnerabilities, and that is important, because, and I know for me, and if it's around family, it's because when you're with family, you forget that you're an empowered adult, beautiful spirit. You kind of get into that child thing again, and then comes the problems. But Nicholas, I'm great with others, sometimes not clear with myself. So true. So we have to get clear about we're learning. I've had some role models that have not been great, so I need to come back and take my power back. 2, I do pick up my vibes, maybe in my gut, my throat, my feelings overall. And so when I feel that, I'm not going to ignore it. I'm not going to ignore it. 3, I'm kind of already intuitive in certain areas. Maybe I haven't paid attention. Maybe I haven't acknowledged it, but I can see, like with family or with kids or with business or with family, I'm kind of good at this. But with other things, maybe not so much. Maybe with when I'm looking at things where I feel vulnerable or I'm insecure with relationships or money or the same things with parents or my health, I get overwhelmed. I lose my center. I go to my fear. So, it's really important to get first tuned in to where your true interests are. And then I'm going to give you a quick technique to help you get past those areas that are difficult for you, okay? So we're recognizing, I feel it in my throat, I feel it in my gut. What stops me is my fears, insecurities, or willfulness. Maybe I want something to work so much, I'm refusing to listen to my vibes. Maybe I want that relationship, or I want that job, or I want to take that trip, even though everything's telling me inside, don't go there. So there's a real easy, simple tool I use and have shared. And the first of that is you need to say what you're afraid of. So if you're feeling like, say it's my career, well, I'm afraid I'm not popular. I'm afraid I won't get hired. I'm afraid I'm not good enough. I'm afraid that other people are, competing with me. I'm afraid, and I call that emptying the garbage. I'm afraid, of other people. I'm afraid I'm going to get overwhelmed. Just whatever. Just say it until there's no more I'm afraid. And then you take that breath in. You go back to that place of my spirit knows. And then you say, my spirit says. My spirit says, and then just let it speak. You don't have to do anything. My spirit says. Hi, Kevin. Hi, Jennifer. Just I'm glad you're doing that. What does my spirit say? But again, the key is out loud. If you're around negative people, I get that. I was married to someone that was very difficult to be around, and it just infuriated me. I'm like you. I could just, try to change the vibe, but I finally realized the answer is to step away. Now, in my case, I ran away, but step away. Step away. And I really feel like it's important to kind of get clear what I'm afraid of. I'm afraid I'll get swallowed up by that negativity and it'll trap me. I'm afraid that that negativity is going to take away my freedom. You know, it's important to say. Now, let's talk about the biggest obstacles to trusting your vibes. I'm going to read a few that I wrote down because they're kind of the common ones. One of them is I overthink. So that to me is the most, we're trying to rationalize our way to our heart. You can't rationalize your way to your heart. So if you're an overthinker, and let me know if you're listening, if you're an overthinker. If you're an overthinker, what we need to do is we need to say, okay, get back into your body, get back into the heart space, get back into the heart space. And do something physical. Go for a walk. Go look at things in the physical world. Get out of your head. Move that energy back to your body. Then my heart says. So next, how about this one? This is a big one. I'm afraid I'll be wrong. Well, if you're in your head, you're probably wrong anyway, so you don't have a lot to lose. And here's the thing. If you're afraid you're going to be wrong, you're still trying to control things. Just remember, you have choices. I see all these overthinkers, and I just want you to know, do go hug trees. Definitely. And if you're a scientist, that's fine. Real scientists wonder. Real scientists are open and curious. They're exploring and they're available. So I want you to really go out in the world, and if you're afraid you'll be wrong, then put that in the tool I just gave you. I'm afraid I'll be wrong. I'm afraid it'll be a catastrophic, awful decision, and I just have to go back to overthinking and not be myself. And then you realize, well, at least let me say what my intuition is. Let me just say it, and then I can choose. I don't have to go with it the minute I say it, but let me just say it. Because you know something, once you start admitting what your inner voice is saying, your body relaxes. So that fear of being wrong. The other thing I want to teach you is when it comes to intuition, we're not looking for what is right or wrong. Those are rational ideas. We're looking for what feels true for me in this moment. For true, what feels true for me right now. And if I'm an overthinker, well, let me go to my heart and let my heart pipe in. My brain says this. My head says this, but what does my heart say? Now, the next thing, and this is one, fear of consequences. Well, you got to think about, one of the things about human beings is we get afraid of change. Anything unfamiliar threatens us, and we get scared. So it's like, oh God, it's change, it's bad. But we have to start saying, exploring, experimenting, it's a good thing. Even if you say that, try little ways to explore. Drive to work a different way. Take a new route. Eat at a new restaurant. Watch a movie that you normally wouldn't watch. Read a book that you spontaneously pick up so that change thing isn't so stressful and overwhelming. That helps the overthinking too. You want to make it fun. It's like, I'm just going to experiment. So you don't start with the big, heavy questions. Start with little things. Little, tiny game things. Like, I wonder is the way in. I wonder. Go back to the true scientist. I wonder what my heart is saying. I wonder what the best thing to do is in this circuit. I wonder how to communicate in a way that will be heard. I wonder what would be most creative and a feeling of abundance for me. That's another way to get over this. Now, how about this one? I can't tell the difference between intuition and wishful thinking. Yeah, that's true. But wishful thinking is kind of a forceful thing. Wishful thinking is, I gotta have it this way. And intuition is calmer. It's very subtle. So you say out loud, my wish is this, my wish is this, my wish is this. So we acknowledge it and we feel the vibration of wishful thinking. And then we go to, and my heart says, and my spirit says, it feels different. It definitely feels open. It feels not forceful. It feels like, feels open. Now, how about I'm ungrounded and anxious, which most of us are because the world is ungrounding and causes anxiety. So again, I want to go back to the importance of getting into your body. Getting into your body. That's how you ground all that energy. You go for a walk, go for a run, go play, go swing on a swing, go take a trapeze course, go sing a karaoke song, do something physical. And meditate. Now, meditation, I've written a lot of books on meditation, and I have meditations on my website that channel you. There's meditation apps all over on your smartphones, but a little bit of time to just get into your breath and into your body, because anxiety is really trying to control the future. So we just need to be, and here's something to do if you're anxious. Just say to yourself out loud, everything's okay. Everything's going to be okay. Everything is okay. I'm protected. I'm supported. My vibes will guide me. So let's all try that now. Everything's okay. Breathe. My spirit will guide me and protect me. Breathe. I can trust myself. Say that out loud right now. Breathe. I can trust my spirit. Rocco, try that. I can trust myself. I'm going to slow down. One of the things that causes anxiety is we're going too fast. Slow down. I can trust. I listen to my heart. Try that one. I listen to my spirit. I listen. Just say that out loud and see how that feels. It's like I'm willing to listen to my spirit. Maybe we could just start there. I'm willing to listen. My spirit gives me my life force. My spirit will protect me. My spirit will guide me. My spirit loves me. My spirit loves life. My spirit will guide me to the best in life. Just breathe that. My spirit loves me. I can listen to my heart, but you have to slow down a little bit. Let's not make it too major. Little tiny adjustments, but the biggest one is my spirit is with me. My spirit will protect me. That's huge. So say that out loud. I can trust myself. I really can. My spirit is the self I'm trusting. God is in my spirit. I am protected. So the next thing we're going to answer is just name some things where you've had some positive intuitive experiences. We frame intuition in such negative terms by habit. What if we framed it in positive terms? I thought of my friend and there you are. I had this vibe to turn the corner and boom, there was the parking space. Or, I just had this idea that I should pick up the phone and boom, called my mom just when she needed me. Or I was just looking I needed a dress and I had to go to a special occasion and boom, walked right into the store and there it was. We have to acknowledge that, and especially because intuition is little deals. It's not big deals. It's little deals that make a big difference, that make life magical, that make life fun and make it warm and amusing. And remember, this is the season, so I want you to start noticing the little deals. And I want to tell you that this is the time that we need to start noticing all these little deals coming in and feeling the power and feeling the joy and feeling the energy of what we're doing, because these little deals are what make our experience so empowering. So I just want everybody to know that as we come back and life can interrupt, but we just jump right back in again, and we just know that these little deals are what make the spirit in us just come alive. It's these little deals that make the spirit in us grow and allow us to have such an amazing experience. So as we're talking about intuition, we have to make it fun. We have to make it joyful. We have to make it easy. We have to make it playful. So one of the ways in which we can play is we can start saying, my spirit says. Ask your spirit, I need to go shopping. Where should I go? My spirit says, and talk to your spirit throughout the day. You can stop and say, okay, my head's talking all the time, and I think it's really helpful to name your spirit. Now, my spirit's name is Bright Light. So when I talk to my spirit, I always say, okay, Sonia, you got your opinions, and I hear you, but Bright Light, what do you say? And it changes the channel. It's just this quick shift. Bright Light, what do you say? Bright Light, what is your guidance? And then be playful with it. Just be playful with it. Don't be scared. You're an adult. You have choice. You have vitality. You have energy. Be playful with your intuition, especially this summer. Where can I get the best ice cream? Where's the best beach to go hang out? What wonderful movie should I see tonight? Little things. Now, Donna says, how do you know your spirit's name? Make it up. Make it up right now, Donna. What would you like to call your spirit? And in fact, everybody, I invite you to make up a name for your spirit right now. Mine is Bright Light, and I talk to Bright Light all the time. It gives you a chance to talk to more than the barking dog in your head, more than the scared part of you. What is your spirit's name? And that way the conversation becomes more dynamic. I love it. Susie says, Paloma. I feel my departed spirit is my guide. Of course, Griselda. But that is still not your spirit name. That's one of your spirit helpers. Mine will be Clara for clarity. My spirit name is Sonia. I love that. I ask Isabel for a parking space. Sunshine. I mean, this is what it's all about. Name your spirit, and then you can talk to your spirit. That's another way. So now we develop our intuition if we have support and listening to our intuition, and that is something I had growing up. I had this great support system for my intuition. I love these names, Sparkle and Toran. Jose, that's a cool name. That's Sparkle, Maddie. You could even call it Mojo. I mean, it is the summer. You can name your spirit Mojo. Mojo, what do you say? Nona, Rainbow. The thing is, it's always an expanded name. I never have somebody say my spirit name is Brick. You know, it's just like, we expand, and it's like being little kids, and we say, well, let's play a game, and you be this, and I'll be that, because it allows us to be more than what our personalities. And Anna says her spirit is Ursula. Love that. Twinkle, joyful. This frequency is available. And if you name it, you can engage, you can talk, you can play, you can be spontaneously involved. So now we need support. I had a family and friends that supported me. That's one of the benefits of coming together like this. My biggest feedback with people over the years is I didn't have support and I didn't want to be alone. That was a huge problem. I didn't have support. I didn't want to be alone. We do need support. I have to tell people all the time, how did you get so comfortable in your intuition? Because I had support. Because I had support. I had the conversation with my guides. I felt it in my body. I was very playful. I love these names. I talked to my guide. I talked to my spirit, and I had support. So that is something we all really, really need. Now, what kind of support? And the most important thing, one more thing I want to talk to you about before I kind of bring this all together is, what would you love? What would you love your intuition to help you with? What would you love? Now, for me, I've been through a lot of change, a lot of growth, a lot of upheaval over the last 7 years, like a lot. And thank God I had my support, and thank God I had my spirit, and thank God I had my spirit family, and thank God I had my intuition. Even if at times it felt like it was underwater. So name the thing. Where would you love intuition, guidance, and support? Support. You know, I like to say this a lot because I like to point out even Jesus had 12 helpers. And if Jesus picked 12 helpers before he went on to town, maybe our idea of having support is also super important. I had the support of my family. I had the support of a good teacher in Dr. Tully and Charlie. I had the support of people who I went to classes with. I had the support of weekly lessons. I had support of a community of people who also trusted their vibes. And I really think it's important that we know. So let me just summarize this for you. I think it's important that we know that we're intuitive by nature, that's the voice of our authentic self, that's our spirit, that's our divine nature. I think it's important that we trust ourselves, trust our vibes, trust our inner nature, recognize how it talks to us, be playful, name our spirit so we can have a direct conversation, look at the places in our life where we have been successful, and then start noticing where we want more success. Like Aisha says, guidance and support in following my career, of course, and it will be that for you to have a joyful life. But Tina, that's why we have the spirit guiding us. That is the point of our inner compass. We need to know, and trusting myself, absolutely, because in trusting yourself, guess what? You're living an authentic life. And getting healthy, yes. But finding a way to be in the world and not let someone else's energy drag us down or their fears, and still be joyful and expansive. The more we know about what we want, the more we're going to get it. Now I want to talk to you before we finish the Solstice party. Everybody, name your spirit. Everybody, just let's summarize some of the things we've learned. We've named our spirit. We know in our body how our spirit talks to us. You want to be playful. You want to not make this a test. You want to make it an exploration. You want to invite in the help. You want to stop doing it all by myself. You want to enjoy. And I love these names. Love, firefly, warrior. You know, you want to focus on what I want my spirit to bring back, what joy, what glory, what frequency of love. Yes, that's what we want to do. Now, I want to talk to you about something. The thing that helped me most in my life was having a tribe, having help, having a teacher, having consistency, having support. And that is why I started the Good Vibe Tribe. Because I know it's that by myself and by alone and caught in the past, it keeps us from living this incredibly, incredibly expanded divine life that we're designed to live. Now, I know that in the way that I've set up the Vibe Tribe is that first of all, we get a lot of benefits. I set it up that I can give you lessons like I got once a week. So every week I'm going to write you a brand new little bite size like this lesson that just sets the tone and sets the energy for the week, so you're always plugged in. You're never alone. You're never drifting back to the old story. You're always given the support and the uplifting that you need to participate in life in a fearless, open-hearted way. And I'm inviting you to join my tribe. I just have it open for the next 5 days. And here's some of the things. If you sign up in the next 48 hours, there's a bunch of gifts you're going to get. I made a course just for the Good Vibe Tribe. So if you sign up, you're going to get Ask Your Guides 2.0, which takes off on the first Ask Your Guides. But I'm telling you, there is the second level of guidance, and in the second really teaches you how to recognize and feel the support so that aloneness isn't there. That fear that comes with I'm disconnected, I can't make any mistakes, I don't. And the other thing about being connected to the tribe is we have a beautiful tribe. Everybody's engaged. People help one another. And you make some real, genuine friends. It's a real dynamic group. And that is something that I wanted to create because I always had that support. Every little bit, the longer I don't want to overwhelm you, but I know that the way to learn is in bite sizes. And so I've set it up with the tribe that you get the weekly lesson, you get the energy of the tribe, but you also get my online courses at a pace. And one right away that's my favorite is Psychic Sit-Ups, which is a little engaged lesson a week that changes your life. And how to become this sixth sensory energy. So the Good Vibe Tribe has been a tremendous, tremendous success. People who engage and join us feel it. They feel connected. They make friends. They get the support they need. We help you. We're available to you. We talk to you. We talk to each other. So that's the thing that you get. And then there's a lot of other things because I know what you need. I know what we need to really live at the frequency of our spirit. You can sign up now. You just click the link below or you come to my website, soniashowcat.com, and you get the beauty of visual journeys because I know I have to help you change some of the inner landscape. So we've made these beautiful journeys, and when I do meditations, which you'll get, I channel the frequency of these gorgeous guides. So I want you to just jump in there and explore with us. Be part of something. I don't feel that we're going to be as successful with our intuition if we don't have the community and support. And I'm really devoted to providing that. You can see just in me being here. There is a Facebook group, by the way, Bridget, a private Good Vibes Tribe Facebook where people talk to each other every day. And I really want you to know that if you're part of it, it's going to change your life because I know what we need and I know how to pace what we need. And I know, and the 3333 Griselda is the guides. It's your angels. So please, take advantage because it's only going to be open for 5 days. And if you do it in the next 48 hours, I'm going to give you these extra supports because this is the last time this will be open. It's only going to be open for the 5 next days. And I just want to tell you, the Good Vibe Tribe is my most beautiful creation because we are changing people and helping people and creating this community in the world. That is, people are writing on the tribe and they're showing and sharing how much their lives are changing, how much that isolation is lifting, how much their intuition is expanding, how much their guides are showing up, how much their joy is returning. And that's my purpose, how much they're living authentically. So please, if you want to join, just click the link at the Facebook below or come to my site, but we only have 5 days. Now, don't get in your head about it. What your vibes say. I'm excited about the psychic sit-ups you get. I'm especially excited about Ask Your Guides 2.0. But I like to be a giver. And I give a lot of support, but at a pace that you can actually absorb. I don't overwhelm anybody. I know our minds go crazy. I know how to teach because I was taught well. And I've been teaching for a long time. Can you believe it? I've been teaching for 40 years. I know I look only 30 because I'm so joyful, but I've been teaching for longer than that. And it's because when you live the spirit, the fire and the joy and the life. So, it's not expensive. I would say, even Angela, don't join next time. Join this time. Just give it a go. Just definitely give it a chance to be part of something bigger than your own isolation, part of something bigger than your fears, be part of something bigger than your anxiety, and be part of something bigger than what locks you out of spirit, what locks you out. We need to join in. The tribe is incredible, and it's where my devotion is going. because more than a book, which I love, it's the weekly support, it's the consistency, it's the engagement, it's the community, it's the constant love and involvement with others that really make the difference. I know that. I know what we need to learn, because we don't like change. Change is scary, but if we inch toward it with others and we have a lot of love and fun and a lot of support, and I feel like if we have all the things that we need in a way that is consistent and gentle, then your life changes beautifully. So I just want to say to everybody, what a pleasure it's been. Again, we have 48 hours to get all the big gifts of being part of the Good Vibe Tribe. And I just want you to please join me in being part of this, because two things. One, it'll change your world, but two, you'll be part of us changing the world. And that's important, us changing the world. So anyway, I want to say that it's been an incredible time. So everybody, before we sign off, just again, tell me the one thing you learned here that was like really your big aha. What are you going to go away with? Are you going to go away with my vibes are natural? Are you going to go with I really do trust myself? Am I going that this is my spirit I can trust? Am I going to go away with my spirit's name is bright light? Am I going to go away with that I don't want to do this alone anymore, and if I join the tribe I can get the constant support at a very little investment for a very big return? Just don't go away alone. Just go away connected. Go away as part of something super beautiful, super available, and I just need, and definitely say things out loud. Say things and have more fun. This is summer, this is solstice. Let your spirit play. Have fun with it. Trust your intuition in little ways. And that's the way it is. So I'm beyond thrilled to have spent this time with you. Feel everybody. I just want to say goodbye to everybody around the world. Thank you for tuning in. I've seen so many of my old friends. We're making so many new friends. I look forward to you being part of my tribe more than anything. Let's not let this end today. Let's jump in. Let's be. Oh, I love that. Your spirit name is Wow. I love that. Dance more, fire dances. Just let's all stay connected, because that's the biggest challenge in the world right now, is feeling isolated, not just from one another, but from our own spirit, disconnected. So that's important. So I'm just so grateful to see all of you. I look forward to continuing our relationship. I look forward to continuing you to be part of the Good Vibes Tribe. You're going to have such a great experience. Join now. It's a small investment. It's life-changing. You'll love it. I promise you. If you love this, you'll love our community. You'll love our experience. You'll love your experience. So that's it for today. I send you all my love. Thanks for checking in. And before we go, your spirit name. Take a breath. Just, my spirit's name is, and it could be aha. That's a good one. So I love all of you. I'm off to see my mom, and I'm going to be checking in with all of you later. Don't miss it. We have 5 days. Join now. Love you. Love spending this great time with you. I don't know about you, but I feel charged and ready to go. I'm really excited, and I'm glad you were here. I hope you had fun. Have fun with your spirit name, and I'll see you on the tribe. Yay. Bye, everyone.